In order to pull data from Sage Intacct to Velixo, which is a add-on to Microsoft Excel, there's a few configuration items that need to be addressed first. The first thing you need to do is go under Company, Admin, Subscriptions, and you need to make sure that Web Services has been turned on. So if it's not activated down here, you would need to flip this to the green and make sure that it is activated. The second thing you need to do is go under Company, Setup, Company, go to the Security tab, hit Edit, and first thing you need to look at is the Enforce IP address filters. If this is set to none, you don't need to do anything at all. However, if this is set to one of these three levels right here, you would need to enter in here to manage filters and add the IP address info for Velixo. And you can get that information on the help info and documentation on the Velixo help website. Most of the time you're going to be here at none and there's nothing you need to do. The other thing that needs to happen is under your web service authorization, you'll need to make sure that you have added this web service add-on of Velixo MPP. It's already done, so it's going to tell me that it's already there. But you would simply enter that and you could put Velixo reporting or a description here. So make those changes here into the company information and save this. Now, as a user, you will access Velixo based on yourself as set up as a user. And notice I have a login set up here called Velixo, which is what I'm using to access my Velixo application in Microsoft Excel. Velixo does suggest using a direct user as opposed to using a web service user, which you could set up and do with permissions with regard to using a web service user. And if it's role-based security, you would need to, the suggestion would be to create a Velixo role. And if you're assigning that Velixo role to a direct user, make sure that you have access to all of the dimensions, at least list view at a minimum, and then any of the other not dimensions, but making sure that you can get to the chart of accounts, list view access for that, list view access for reporting periods, and then financial reports as well. So that's the setup on the Intacct side. Now, as far as Excel is concerned, you'll need, the first thing you need to do, and I already have it, is have my Velixo add-on. But if you do not have your Velixo add-on yet, what you would do is open the file option here and go to Get Add-ons, and you would search for Velixo and select this and hit Add. And once you do that, it will put your add-on for Velixo right here. Once this is completed, you now have the ability to connect to your Intacct instance to be able to start pulling data. So I'm going to click my Velixo button here, and you'll notice it opens up this connection manager option. I can now add my Intacct instance to this. So you'll want to make sure you've selected Sage Intacct here because there are other applications that Velixo supports. Select Sage Intacct. What I would do then is get my company ID, company name. I would put that here so it's consistent with what you are logging in and seeing here. So that way there's consistency and you can identify that. And then now I want to input my credentials to actually connect back to the Intacct instance. so I could start pulling data into Excel and Velixo. So I'm going to hit remember credentials. That way, every time I log into this spreadsheet, my credentials will already be saved. So I'll hit connect. It's already got my company ID and user ID here. I would then, and if it isn't there, you just need to input it and then input your password. And you'll notice the connection has been saved. I have a checkbox here to denote the saving and that the connection is valid. You have to have a Velixo subscription to connect to an Intacct instance. Otherwise, this would not show the check mark and that the connection is valid. So the subscription must exist to be able to pull data from your Intacct instance. But these are the steps to connect to be able to start pulling data here in Intacct using Velixo functions.